Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about not so much how to move to Thailand, okay, but how to live abroad. And there's a big difference, okay? I'm not talking about how to travel abroad, how to travel international. I'm not talking about how to take vacations international. I'm talking about how to live abroad and how to travel abroad. Okay, for example, if I live in Thailand, how do I travel living abroad to other countries? Okay, but there's really tricks to this. There's really excellent tips I want to give you because there's a big difference between, well, Chad, I travel a lot. I get it. Okay, but the way you travel is you just take vacations. Okay, just like I used to do back in the day. I used to take a lot of vacations. I used to travel international and take vacations international, meaning I just go somewhere for a couple weeks or a few weeks and I come back. So when I'm traveling from the United States, I'm buying a round trip ticket to go to that country and come back. Okay, when you live abroad and you really travel abroad, you're usually buying a one flight ticket to Thailand because that's where I live. And if I want to travel anyplace else, I'm traveling from Thailand and I'm coming back to Thailand. Okay, so there's a lot of tips to this, is because what you have to understand is if you're from the United States, if you're from the UK, Europe, wherever you're from, once you leave the United States, you're in international waters, you're international. So it turns into international law. Okay, then once you go to Thailand, it's Thai law. Okay, it doesn't matter where you're from. Okay, you're in another country, it goes by their rules and their laws. So what comes with that is, especially in Asia, it's not just Thailand, especially with Asia, there's a lot of scams, a lot of money scams, a lot of money schemes. Even if you don't want to say it's really a scam, it's a money scheme. There's money schemes all over the place. Okay, there's money schemes in hotels and resorts. There's money schemes in condos. There's agent money schemes. There's visa agents that will scam you. There's real estate agents that will scam you. There's Thai agents, kind of like condo agents, that will help you get a condo or rent a condo, that will scam you. So the same thing is when you travel, okay, in the airports, international airports, when you're over international waters, it's not going to be the same laws, okay? Now, let's kind of flip it. Maybe you keep up with the popular YouTube channels about how to live in Thailand. And there's a few of them out there. And you always hear them say, well, I have a home base. My home base is Bangkok. My home base is my condo in Bangkok. Or my home base is in Hua Hin. Or my home base is in Pattaya. Wherever you like. Why? The question you have to ask is, why are they creating home bases? Okay, why? Like if I'm getting ready, right now I'm in the United States, I'm visiting family, and I'm getting ready, get my stuff ready, have my luggage. I'll show you, have my luggage over here. I'm getting ready to pack things up. Got some stuff over here, like all different medicines and stuff like that. I like to take back with me. And I have a home base in Thailand, okay? Or I like to call it home base. Or you can say that's where you live. Why are they creating home bases? Why not, if they want to move around, if they want to live in Thailand for a few months and live in Vietnam and live in Cambodia and go to China, go to Japan, why not just uproot? Why not just take all their stuff? Why not, like, if I can fit all my stuff in one carry-on luggage and two check-in luggages, why not travel like that? Okay, that's how you would travel if you're going on vacation, but why not travel like that when you actually live abroad? And there's really good reasons why they don't do it, and they don't share it with you. That's what we're really going to talk about. For one, they don't share it with you is because it's really reflects negative. Okay, it kind of has a negative connotation to it, and it's just not Thailand. I'm going to pick on Thailand here for a little bit, but it's all the Asian countries, okay, that do this. And I've had it done to me. That's why I'm sharing it with you. And that way it's going to happen to you if you live abroad. 100%. You're going to go through it. You're not going to, but you know how to handle it. You know what to expect, and you know how to handle it. And it's not a surprise. Like, why is this happening? So a couple things here. One, they create a home base in Thailand. Let's say Bangkok's their home base. One, the reason why is because let's say they go to Vietnam for 3 months and they have a home base in Thailand, so they're still paying for a place in Thailand. The reason why they're doing this is because it's cheaper to travel. Okay, it's cheaper just to book a cheap flight to go over to Vietnam, and all you have is your carry-on. Okay, it's way, way cheaper to do that. Okay, now when you book a flight, you have to make sure that you're allowed to take a carry-on with you. Okay, you have to check, check the terms and conditions and check the terms and conditions of your flight. Not all flights will let you take a carry-on. So you really got to check the flights. And some of these flights can be very, very strict with carry-ons. So you got to check. Okay, but most of them will let you take a carry-on. So the reason why they do it is because it's super cheap. Okay, now the second thing is the reason why it's cheap is because the reason why they're just not packing all their stuff in 2 check-in luggages is because it's extremely expensive. Okay, now you might book a flight. Your flight's only get more expensive if you have checked-in luggage. Okay, it's not going to be super cheap if I just have a carry-on. It's going to go up in price. Now, this happens to a lot of people. This happens to my friends. This happens to people I've talked to overseas. This happens to people I talk to in Thailand. Is in the United States. Okay, I'll give you an example here. In the United States, if I'm traveling, I'm in the United States. I'm traveling from the United States, so I'll purchase my ticket in the United States. My flight comes with 1 carry-on and 1 checked-in luggage. But let's say I have 2 checked-in luggages. Well, that's not a big deal because inside the United States, it's just a flat fee. It's a $100 flat fee for an additional luggage. So when you live abroad, you think it's going to be the same, and it's not. You think it's going to be a flat fee, and it's not. You think, well, the most they're going to charge me is $100 because that's what I get charged in the United States. No, they can charge you anything they want. See, this is what I mean by money schemes and money scams. Even the customer service agent helping you at the airport can charge you. They pocket most of the money and then they pay the rest of the money to the airport. These are money schemes. That's what I mean by money schemes. So that's what happens a lot international, is that you might have an additional luggage that you didn't pay for when you booked your flight, or you forgot, or you just didn't think about it, you made a mistake, and you think it's no big deal. Then you go to the airport, you have this extra luggage to check in, and all of a sudden they tell you, oh, sir, that's $800. And you're thinking like you didn't hear them right. You're like, what? Like, oh, that's $800. I was like, no, 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 no. And they're trying to get you, but they know you have to travel. They know you got you stuck. So they're giving you a high price. So, either you leave your luggage there or you end up paying $800. Now you might think I'm making that number up. I'm really not. Okay. I just talked to one of my friends a few weeks ago. He lived in Korea, and well, he's a Falun. He's a foreigner. He's not Korean, but he lives in Korea. And I met him in Thailand. He stayed in Thailand for a few months. Then when he was flying back to Korea, he had an extra luggage. And when he got back to Korea, he called me and said, Chad, guess what? They tried to charge me for my extra luggage. And I said, what? He's like, $800. $800. So what he did was he had time. He was lucky. He went to the airport in enough time to basically rent I think he rented like a locker, rented a place where they would hold his luggage because he was coming back to Thailand anyway. So he didn't pay the $800. So these are the types of things I'm talking about. Like once you're overseas, once you're abroad, once you're traveling around Asia, this is the real reason why people are creating like remote offices or creating a place to live, and they call it their home base. That's why they're saying this. I mean, they have experience with it. They're just not sharing these details with you. And it's you have to share these details. No matter if they're negative or not, it's going to happen to you. That's why they're creating this home base. It's because they can get caught up in these money schemes. They can get caught up in these money scams, and they know, like if they show up to the airport and they're getting ready to travel and they have 1 extra carry-on or 1 extra luggage to check in, they know the possibility for it happening is great. Okay, it might not be $800. It could be $500. It could be $400. It could be $300 just for that extra luggage. So that's why they create these home bases, like in Bangkok, for example, and they leave everything there. Then when they go over to Vietnam for a couple months or a week or a month, or you stay over there for a few months, they have a nice carry-on luggage they have, and they fit what they need in their carry-on, and they travel super cheap. Okay. That's really the number one reason, is because they know the little money schemes that go on. Now, the second thing that what happens is that even if you're staying in hotels, resorts, like once you leave the United States, I'm using the United States as an example because I'm from the United States. You're going into international law. They don't have, once you're in Thailand, once you're not in the United States no more, they don't have to follow the laws in the United States. You know what I mean? If there's like income caps, how much they can charge you, there's rules and regulations on how much they can charge you. There's rules and like regulations like if you look online how much a flight is, and the flight's only $600, you type in your debit card and credit card, you hit send. In the United States, that's what you pay. Okay. But international, they don't have none of that. International, they use the excuse. I'll give you an example. This happened to me. And it's happened to me a couple times. Is that while your payment is processing, they change the price. Okay. Now I'm an entrepreneur. Okay. The payments don't process anymore. Okay. I go through Stripe, and I have Stripe connected to my business and stuff like that. You can use PayPal. Once you pay for something, boom, it's immediately charged. But I'll give you an example so you understand what I'm talking about. One time, the first time I lived in Thailand, not lived in Thailand, I've been living in Thailand since 2021. And the first time I came back to the States, I booked a flight to come back. And it was relatively cheap. It was like $800 to come back to the States. I bought a one-way ticket to come back and to visit. And when I bought this ticket, it was like $800. I was like, oh, that's a decent price to actually come back to the States. So I bought it, jumped on it, bought it. It was scheduled out, I think, like a couple months. And I didn't think anything of it. I bought it, didn't think anything. The next day, like 24 hours later, the next day I'll check my email. And I get an email from the company. I won't say the company because it's a number one company that we all use in the United States. And to kind of keep it private a little bit, I get an email, and the email says that, all your payment changed while your payment was processing. So I open the email, and it says, oh, your payment changed while your payment was processing. The prices went up, the prices increased. And I was thinking, oh, they increased by $10. But I looked at it, okay, it increased by $600. No joke. My flight went from $800 to $1,400. Okay. Now that wasn't a big deal because they offered me a refund right away. They said, oh, we can either refund your money or you can keep it. So I chose to refund because I'm not going to be, money schemed out of $600. But that's basically what's happening is like they're not, once you leave the United States, once you leave the UK, once you leave Europe and you're in international waters, you're in Thailand, whatever country you're in, they're not the same laws. They're not the same laws around how you have in your country. So there's a lot of money schemes. That's what I mean by money schemes. And I mean, big brands do this, the same company you use in the United States, the same flights you're using in Thailand, but they'll do this to you. Okay. And they use the excuse of well, while your payment was processing, the price increased. And that's a money scheme. Just because anything you buy now, you're charged right away. So they don't really honor, even if you're looking at it on screen and the total price is $800, they don't honor that price. They use the excuse, well, while the payment was processing, you get it. While the payment was processing, the payment increased. So with that one, lots of times nowadays, see, I've learned this because I've been through it, is don't book your flights like when you have to go. Okay, always give plenty of time, always give plenty of time for air, always give plenty of time for these little schemes that pop up, and it doesn't affect you. But anytime I book, if it happens, I don't care because I know 100% I'll get my money back, and I'll know 100% they'll refund me, and I'll go to a different company and I'll rebook my flight that it doesn't happen or it doesn't happen again. The first time, I'll tell you this, the first time I lived in Thailand, I lived in Thailand for 1 year at this point, and I lived in Phuket. I lived near Patong. And for my first year in Thailand, I lived in resorts. I didn't live in a condo. Now I live in a condo, but my first year, I lived in resorts. And now in resorts, and you're paying every month, resorts would do the same thing. When you go online and look for deals, they'll do the same thing. The same example is what they'll do is you see the total amount you pay. Once you type in your credit card or your debit card to pay for it, they will change the price on you. And they'll use the excuse, well, while the payment was processing, the price of the hotel, price of the resort increased. Okay. So they're used the same kind of scam. Now with this one, now the number one, now in Thailand, the number one to really use is Oganda.com. No, Oganda.com never did this to me. But when I started using the same booking sites that we use in the United States, for example, like Booking.com started doing this to me. They started changing the price after I submitted payment. And then I would be billed that change price. Then I would have to contact customer service. And this one was a little bit of a headache because when I contact customer service while I'm in Thailand, I'm talking to either the Philippines or Thai or wherever they're from. They wouldn't refund the money. I didn't even want a refund. I wanted a refund of the difference. I had like screenshots. I had everything. I took screenshots of everything, and they still wouldn't refund the money or wouldn't refund the difference. Finally, I had to get on the phone, talk to customer service, and I just was straight up with customer service. I go, this is what they did. This is illegal. I'm from the United States. So, when I'm looking at it, if the total price is $100, I'm giving you an example here. If the total price is $100, that's what I pay after I type in my credit card. Okay, I pay $100. Okay, after the payment processes, I'm paying $150. So they charge me an extra $50. I go, you can't do this. Okay, this is illegal. And then I said, I'm from the United States. So after I said that, they basically refunded me the difference of that amount. She said, well, just let it clear your account. Let it clear so we know if it 100% charged you difference. Give us a copy of your bank statement showing that you were charged and we'll refund the difference. So I did get refunded. That one was a little bit of a headache just because it took a little bit more time. It wasn't just a quick refund button from like the flights, but a lot of things like that will happen, and you have to plan accordingly. Okay, it's not like doom or, oh my God, this happened to me. Lots of times my channel is about wealth, health, and prosperity. Lots of times I talk about abundance inside you. Lots of times I talk about, you have obstacles in front of you, little things that happen in front of you. It's just your perception of it. Or if something's happening, look at the good around it. Don't let it affect you and walk around it. Handle it, walk around it, forget about it. Okay. So, but newbies need to know this information because like you will get stuck if you have to go home. Okay. You can't reschedule your flight. You don't have time to do it. Maybe it's an emergency at home you got to go tend to. Maybe your visa's already done, so you got to go, and they're doing it to you this way. So, I mean, either way, as long as you plan for it, it's not going to affect you. You're just going to go with the flow, get a refund, reschedule your flight, so forth and so forth. But this is really the main reason, the main topic of this video. It's really the main reason why people create home bases, okay, in Thailand. That's why when you watch people who live in Thailand, especially young, and they're not retired, and they always talk about, I created a home base. This is really the reason why they created a home base, is because they can keep everything there. They can travel just with a carry-on. And I have a carry-on here, but it's just a normal backpack. I have an excellent carry-on, but I left it in Thailand because I knew I was just coming here and going back to Thailand, so I didn't bring it with me. But I have an excellent carry-on I use if I was going to another country for a month or two, then go back to Thailand. That way I can fit more in it. It's the carry-on regulations. It meets everything, but it's an excellent carry-on. That's why they do it. They're not telling you why they do it. They're not telling you the real reason why they're doing it. They're hiding the real reason, but the reason they're doing it is all the reasons I gave you in this video, is because one, it's cheaper. Two, they don't get caught up with money schemes by the airports they're in. Like if they're flying out of Bangkok airport, they get caught up with money schemes. Especially if they have extra luggage. If they have to pay for extra luggage, there is no cap on what you have to pay. There is no, like in the United States, there's a cap. It's $100. It's $100 flat fee. That's it. Okay. It doesn't matter where you go inside the United States. It's all the same. Okay. So when you go to Thailand, that number is made up. It's just made up. There is no cap. They can charge you $100, They can charge you 200, 300, 400, 500, or like my friend, they charge them $800. So they know that stuff's going to happen, and they know they need to go back or they need to travel, and they're going to be really stuck paying it. If they really want what they have in that luggage, they're going to be stuck paying it. So that's the real reason why they do it. That's the real reason why they create a home base, is to, one, it makes it way more easier to travel, but it saves them a ton of money. It's just super, super cheap to travel, super cheap to bounce. It's super cheap to go over to Vietnam, go over to Cambodia, go over to the Philippines, go up to China, go to Japan, go to Korea. It's super cheap to travel if you just have a carry-on. Once you start bringing in additional luggage, the price goes up. But other than that, my friends, just want to share that with you. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you have questions about Thailand, you have questions about living abroad, ask below. I try my best to answer the questions. I don't deter you off to another thing you need to buy. I'll try my best to answer it as far as my own experience. I've been living in Thailand since 2021. So it's 2024 now. It's been about 3 years. I've been kind of going back and forth. Come back to the States to visit family. Then I go back. But anyway, if you have any questions, ask below. And I'll see you in the next video.